Hey, with our old buddy Sid Crist at the Sid Crist Midland Trail basketball camp that's going on this week. We're here at Ansted. This is Ansted. It's a community center, that's it. Used to be Ansted High School and Ansted in middle school. I think we probably both played here sometime in our careers. Mine a long time ago, when it was probably a new building. But anyway, just you've done these camps. I've known you for a long time since you were playing. You've come back and done these camps. You're now at UPike as a coach. Talk about why you do these camps and come back from Kentucky and continue to do these camps in the area.
Yeah, it's a good release for me. I mean, I grew up going to school here, played middle school basketball here, made the 6th grade team, 7th, 8th grade, right in this gym. So it's special for me to be able to come back and give back to the community that kind of raised me, you know. Dad was a coach and a teacher, Mom worked at the courthouse, so we kind of knew everybody, and seemed like we were one big family forever, and I get to come back and see those people. It makes it special for me.
What's it like? You're doing this also in the mornings at Oak Hill. Your brother was a player there, and just until this past year, and you've got great relationship with the coaches over at Oak Hill. But being here at Trail, I would imagine that probably makes this, or Ansted Trail. I think you played at Midland Trail. I would imagine this makes this one a little special for you, just to come back in your community where you play.
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, being here at the middle school where I grew up playing, where I played in middle school, that certainly makes it special. But being at Oak Hill is great too. You know, my fondest memories come from being in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. Obviously, Jack Flournoy and I were the best of friends growing up, and Caleb Wright and I become really, really good friends in high school. And so doing it at Oak Hill, there's a little bit of the same feeling for me because a lot of my best memories come from that gym as well.
When a kid comes to this camp, and like I say, you've been doing it for a long time now under a different name, your name, what can a kid expect to pick up when they go to a camp like this, when you as a college coach?
So the main thing that we try to teach here in all the camps that I run here at Oak Hill and here at Midland Trail Community Center is, we want to teach them things that they can do when they're not at camp. Dribbling drills, passing drills, shooting drills, defensive drills, whatever that looks like, so that when they're not at basketball camp, they can work on their games and get better as well.
So you give them things they can take home.
That's right. Yeah, that's the main thing. Is we want them to be able to go home and work on. That's why basketball is such a good sport. In baseball, you need somebody to throw it to or somebody to pitch to you. In football, you need somebody to throw it to or somebody to throw it to you. Right? In basketball, you need a ball and a goal. You can go work on your passing, your ball handling, and your shooting all by yourself.
You told me that this, and you mentioned it before, this is where you made your 6th grade middle school team. What do you remember from those days when you were?
My 6th and 7th grade year at Ansted Middle School, we might have been the worst middle school team in the county. I remember coming here to try out for our middle school team, being scared to death, and was able to make the team 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and then Curtis Miller ended up coming here in the 8th when I was an 8th grader, and was our middle school coach, and we formed a really good relationship. And then as I went into high school, Curtis became my dad's assistant at Midland Trail, and then from there became the head coach there after Dad retired. So I guess there's a bunch of different memories that come to mind when you ask that question. It's hard for me to pinpoint one or two.
How did you get interested in? I know basketball has been the sport that you dedicated, well, now your life to. But what got you interested in doing camps? I mean, I would assume you went to camps as a kid, and you probably worked in them as a counselor since you were or coach.
That's an easy question. My favorite time of the school year every year growing up was when we got the basketball camp brochures in our mailboxes at the end of the school day, and got to take those home with us from school to sign up. And it was the thing that all of us kids look forward to in elementary school and middle school, was going to the John Flournoy basketball camp at Midland Trail. And then when Dad became the coach, we kept the camp going. Then I think Steve Spicer told me that they did their first camp at Midland Trail in 1984, and it had been going from '84 all the way to 2019, and obviously stopped when COVID hit in 2020. So that's the reason why I do them, was because I remember how much fun I had and the joy that I got in looking forward to doing it when I was their age.
What do when you book these kids, can you tell guys they'll be good? Is it might have some potential? Another thing that do you try to gravitate to people who maybe need a little more help? How do you do it?
No, I mean these kids are so young. Who knows what they're going to do or how good they're going to be. The main thing is that they come in here and they have fun, and we try to teach them some fundamental skills and teach them some drills to do. when they go home, so they can keep getting better at it if it's something they like to do. We want to make it as fun for them as possible. They don't want to come in here and do defensive slides for an hour. We know that, so we try to make it as fun of an experience for them as we can.
Does this got anything help you as a coach at all?
Yeah, it reminds me why I do it.
And which is?
Things like this. This is the fun part of it. You know, people think about being a college basketball coach. There's some tough days, you know, from October until March. You got weights, you got practice. You know, you're on the road recruiting. There are times when, you know, we leave on a Wednesday to go to an away game, and we're gone Wednesday night. We play Thursday. We travel to the next away game on Friday morning. We stay Friday night there. We play Saturday, and then we travel back. Maybe it's somewhere 8 hours away. During those days, you're thinking like, my Lord, I'm away from my family. I'm away from my mom, my dad, my brother. I'm away from my girlfriend, and why am I doing this? And then there's other pieces of it during the season that obviously remind you why you do it. When you get to do things like this is awesome.
Could you almost see yourself doing this as a career?
I don't know what else I would do.
I mean, camps, doing something like that. The teaching part, rather than the coaching part.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something that we all toss around at some point. And I know a lot of guys in our business, they'll do it to make a little extra side money. But you know, I enjoy coaching college basketball. I enjoy being around the game. I don't know if there's anything else I could do. So maybe that day will come and we'll find out. But I'm not sure about that just yet.
You work with Tommy Ewing, who's a great at Midland Trail. He's here today. Your brother, who's 1 and 2 Wheeling Jesuit. He is or Wheeling now. He's one of your counselors, I think you guys call him coaches. A lot of guys that played the trail or at trail helping out you. How much fun is that for you? Just to get in here with some of these guys who kind of grew up in the same area as you.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Like you know, Tommy Ewing babysat me growing up. So the time I was in Tommy's wedding. I was ring bearer in Tommy's wedding. So being able to come back and do that with him was awful special, and having Sammy here is fun as well. You got Indy Eads, who's a graduate of Midland Trail. He's helping us out this week. His dad, Coach Eads, helped my dad some, and he always worked camp every year. I actually tried to get Coach Eads to come work camp this week. He was always our defensive station specialist. He wasn't able to make it, so getting to be around the guys who were there working the camps and coaching the camps when I was doing it. Now I'm running the camps that they're working at. That's a cool thing for me. We had Jason Eads yesterday. 2 summers ago, we did a John Flournoy Memorial Youth Clinic, and Jack came back and ran it with us. Steve Shelf was here, Bo Kessler was here. A lot of the guys that had played and were really good players came back and helped that day. We're going to try to do that again, maybe over Christmas break. So those things are fun. All we've done this week in between stations and competition is just talk about the good old days, you know.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your playing days at Trail and the state tournament and a certain shot that was taken in that tournament. It might be, at least for old writers like myself, maybe one of the highlights. I mean, I don't know if you hear much about that anymore, so I thought I'd throw that out there. What are your recollections of the infamous cramp shot?
I don't even remember. I remember towards the end of the game, I shot one from, if you look at the logo at half court, I shot from about Martinsburg on the logo, and I hit it, and when I landed both feet in it, or both calves in a cramp, and walled off the floor. Everybody got a big kick out of that.
Yeah, we quite enjoyed that.
Yeah. I've always been the tip of everybody's entertainment, I feel like.
How many times do you get reminded by people you resemble your dad? A lot. You know, I mean, it's just something that comes up. I think you told me you were in a store out of state, and somebody said, "Is that Greg Crist's son?"
Yeah,
I mean, You hear that quite a bit. Huh?
Yeah, that was actually Lionel Jordan. Played at Midland Trail back in the '90s, but yeah, it happens a lot. And I even there's a picture of us that I think you used in an article one time, probably my junior year at the state tournament. I'm standing right next to him. We're standing exactly alike, and I catch myself during games. He was a big foot stomper during games. I stomp my foot during all the games. He always says that it reminds him of him do it. There's a lot of mannerisms I catch myself doing every day that are a lot like him.
Did you guys get that from John Flournoy? He was a big foot stomper too.
I don't know. John passed when I was in the 8th grade.
Right.
So I remember. Obviously, I mean, I've spent every day of every summer with John from the time I was a kid, as far back as I can remember until he passed away. And so I don't really remember a ton of when he was coaching during the games. I remember more about being in practice with him.
Right.
Not as much foot stomping goes from in practice as it does in the game.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Hey, Sid, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, continued success with the camps.
Appreciate it.